Hi, Lee Phillips again. This is part of my series on the formalities that are required in an LLC or a corporation in order to make sure that we get the corporate shield, we protect you from what happens in the company. One of the formalities is resolutions or approval of the company for things that the officers and directors do in the corporation, or we call them a manager in an LLC. Those major acts, opening up a bank account, signing a mortgage, whatever it is, and by the way, this is all written down in your bylaws or your operating agreement for the LLC. This is all written down, but you have to have the members' approval or the board's approval in order to have the director or the manager execute this thing. And like I say, when you go down to the bank to open up your first bank account for the company, they're going to say, well, where's the resolution from the members? Where's your authority? And you need to produce a piece of paper that says that the company resolves that John Doe, you, has the power and authority on behalf of the company to open up a bank account. And you need an EIN number. We've talked about that before. But you have to follow this procedure of authorizing the officers, directors, managers of the company. And we do that through resolutions. The resolution is going to be extremely short. It's going to be authorize manager to fire John Henry. If it's any longer than that, then we have a problem, because we may be giving John Henry ammunition to come back and sue us later. You never say why we authorize. We just authorize, or we resolve that the manager is given authority to open up the bank account. The manager is given authority to enter into the lease. And so these types of major acts, now regular stuff doesn't have to be resolved, or you don't have to do a resolution each time that you do something relatively routine. But the bigger items, and they will actually be written down, or should be written down in your articles, your operating agreement or your bylaws. So you have to read those documents to see what you have to authorize. But the authorization is witnessed or is confirmed by the written resolution, and it's signed by the directors, or it's signed by the owners, the members, whoever your operating agreement or your bylaws say need to make that assignment, and then sign the document. So don't overlook the resolutions. They're easy to make. They're really short and sweet. Keep them really short and sweet. But you'll run into situations where the bank or one of the other companies will ask for, where's the resolution? Come on, I want to see that you gave this guy authority to do this. And by the way, that goes to the, oh no, this isn't me, this isn't my alter ego, this is a real company. I actually had the authorization given to the manager to go do this. And if you were a company and you had a manager who wasn't you, and you owned the company, you would want to make sure that that manager didn't do anything that you didn't authorize, or have a resolution that said that he could do it. So if you treat the company as a real company, somebody, totally third party, hands off, then the courts will treat the company as a totally third party, hands off. That means you get the corporate shield protection, the limited liability protection that you really want. That's why you set up the company in the first place.